bhajagovindam chanting, verses 6 to 10.
यावत् पवनो निवसति देहे तावत् पृच्छति कुशलं गेहे गतवति वायौ देहापाये भार्या बिभ्रति तस्मिन् काये बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीसक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तासक्तः परमे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न सक्तः काते कान्ता कस्ते पुत्रः संसारोऽयमतीव विचित्रः कस्य त्वं कः कुतायातः तत्त्वं चिन्तय तदिह भ्रातः सत्सङ्गत्वे निस्सङ्गत्वं निस्सङ्गत्वे निर्मोहत्वम् निर्मोहत्वे निश्चलतत्वं निश्चलतत्वे जीवन्मुक्तिः वयसि गते कः कामविकारः शुष्के नीरे कः कासारः क्षीणे वित्ते कः परिवारो ज्ञाते तत्त्वे कः संसारः
सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करमावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। The spiritual progress happens through satsanga, he says. We just started this analysis of what is satsanga. The direct one is Guru. Indirect satsanga is the Shastras. That's all. Now we have to, I'm just trying to recap what we did in the last class. Why is it that Guru's association is considered to be a satsanga? What is the hallmark of satsanga, sir? The acid test of satsanga is it should produce detachment. Nirsanga should happen. If nirsanga happens, that is where satsanga is a real one. So when you are spending time with a guru, this nirsanga happens. How does that nirsanga comes into? Because the mind has a tendency to go for the subtler joys. When it starts tasting the subtler joys, it automatically drops the grosser. The joy, the subtle realms, helps us to makes you automatically drop the grosser pursuits. So when you are associating with the Guru, that relationship itself is so satisfying. so joyful. Not that because he is going to be giving you lecture and all those things, please. It's not that. Not that when you are, spending time with the guru, he will explain what is prarabdha, what is purushartha, what is this, what is that, all this. That's not because he is going to be doing teachings or he is going to give instructions and all that. That sheer relationship is so joyful. Even if you are watching a cricket match with him, it is so joyful than to watch a cricket match with anyone else. You sit and watch a movie with him, is so joyful. Now we ask the question, from where does that joy come? What is the joy in that relationship which we don't experience in other relationships? We don't get a chance to experience. The joy factor is coming from the fact that there is no necessity for me to put up a show, because he is not going to be judging me. He is not going to be taking advantage of my weaknesses. He will not take advantage of my inadequacies. He doesn't get irritated or frustrated with my weaknesses. Otherwise, what happens in all other relationships, sir? Somewhere down the line, the other person gets irritated with you. Why? Because of your weakness, because of your inadequacies, because of your insecurities, because of your some factor. Jealousy, you can have, greed, you can have this, you can have anything. All those things, if you expose to other person, they will not be able to take it. So what you have to do, sir, you have to present artificially, you have to project yourself as though you are not having any weakness. Or you have to put in a lot of effort to trivialize your weaknesses. See, everybody has, that's all. See, everybody is taking bribe. I'm also taking bribe. What is a big deal? Problem solved. So when I trivialize the whole thing, then it becomes easier for me to relate to you. Then you can also relate to me. Then what is the all other relationships are what, sir? Kidney failure, liver failure, heart failure, brain failure, some tumor. All of us are sitting in the hospital. Now each one is discussing with the other. What is it? What is that you have come for? Kidney. Oh. What about you? Say liver. Now each one of us say our own problems. So what happens? I have a weakness, you are also having a weakness. So what is a big deal? So both are equal. You are also a patient, I am also a patient. This is the problem. This is how we relate with the world. Suddenly, if you were to see someone who is not having that weakness, what happens immediately, sir? What you do is what the world will do to you also. That's all. It's not that what you do is different, world is going to do different. It's the same thing. What you do to the world is what the world does to you. What you do when you see a weakness in another one, you pounce on the person and then tear them to pieces. Whereas when you were to look at your own weaknesses, how do you look? How you see your weakness and how you see others' weakness. Others' weakness in the sense, others who are far away from you, you don't have any issues. That's why none of us have a problem with the strangers. All your problem in life is coming from where? From your family only, your business only. Far off and all, we don't care. That's why in January or February, we did not bother about coronavirus. Today we are bothered about coronavirus. Why? Because it has come to India. So long as it has not entered Bangalore also, we didn't bother much. Now what had happened, sir? Karnataka started increasing the numbers. And then what happened? Bangalore, it started increasing. Then you pay attention to. Otherwise, you don't. So when we are discussing about this relationship, we are not discussing about far away people. We are discussing about people who you meet physically. Actually, you deal with them. Only they are relationships. Remember, we are not talking about the notional relationships that you are carrying. Like the parents are living in India, the child is in abroad. For the last 7 years, he is there in abroad. Now, what is the relationship you have with him? He comes for 1 week to 1 month, he will come to India. In that, he will spend 1 week with you. In that 1 week also, how long you are going to be spending time with him? Every day he says, I have to meet that friend, I have to meet this friend. Either the friend comes to the house or he goes to their house. Invariably, if you see, the total number of hours that you are going to be relating to the other person is only for about what? Couple of hours in that week. So relationship, remember, we are not talking about far off people. We are talking about closer. More closer they come to you, more irritated you get when you see their weaknesses. Therefore, what is the proof? You may say, ask me, Ishwar, how do you know? We all do that. The proof is when you register a weakness in you, how you treat. When you register a weakness in another person, how you treat. When you take bribe, what do you do? When you give bribe, what you do? Who gets irritated with bribe? Only those who are giving alone get irritated with bribe, not the people who are receiving it. Suppose if you are in the receiving end, will you get irritated? That is a quick question. Relative positions. Corruption being same, weakness being same. When I register someone else got angry, what do I do? Vis-a-vis, I register my anger, what do I do? I see another person having a weakness for something and I have a weakness for peanuts. How do I see my weakness for peanuts? Chicky. My weakness of chicky is what? Chicky only, no. I'll make it look so innocuous. Whereas, when I see another person having a weakness for something, I say what? How dare? When you have to change, how do you view that change? When you have to change, when you have to grow, you always ask for how long? I need so much of time, isn't it? Instant change will not happen, sir. You say that you have to get detached, become objective, we develop the Sakshi Bhav. Why can't you become unselfish? This, that, all that you heard. But how much time you give for yourself to move from selfishness to unselfishness? Vis-a-vis, how much time you give for the other person to move from selfishness to unselfishness? When I have to move, I give more time for myself. Whereas, if I have to see you move, I say what? No. Instantly you have to move from selfishness to drop your ego. But for me to drop my ego, I will give how much time? I will never tell myself, I recognize my ego, I should drop my ego instantly. I will never say that. Whereas to you, I will say what? So what is the position I am giving you now? I am not giving you sufficient time, sufficient space for you to slowly move. It takes time. The transformation, any change, any positive change, any work with reference to that weaknesses, our fears, our anger, our greed, my jealousy, my ego, my complexes, all these things needs time to work, and all these things are ugly part of us. And when I see my ugly part, I will trivialize. When I see ugly part in you, I magnify. When I see my weakness, I give me sufficient time and space. Enough freedom is given to myself to change. Whereas I will never give you that time and space for you to transform. Therefore, what happens to you? You have to hide your weaknesses. You have to hide your things. You got to mask. You got to cover it up. You got to make it up. That demands tremendous thought energy, effort. And that is tiring. Guru is one who does exactly opposite of what we do. What he does, sir, he does exact opposite. Like Ramatirtha, when a fellow asked Ramatirtha why people are greedy, he said, why not? Why not people will be greedy? Why? They are infinite in nature. Therefore, they will never be satisfied with anything finite. They will be seeking infinity. So when you say people are greedy, what Ramtirtha says? The greed is such a negative quality. He divinizes that negative quality. He makes it appear as though it is so beautiful, so nice. What we do, sir, exact opposite. One side. And then he gives enough space and time for the change to happen. You say, this is what Guru service is. If we say Guru is serving the world, what is the service he is doing? Don't think, he is serving the world means he is sitting and writing a book or giving a lecture, class. He gives advices, he gives instructions, he is doing teaching. That is not his essential service, please. Essential service of a guru is to provide you enough space for you to transform, to give you that freedom to work on. Fascinating sacrifice that is, service that is, amazing service. That is why everyone would not be able to do that. See, lecture anybody can give. That is not a big difficulty. All that you have to do is what? You should have good. In fact, you don't even need a very good one. Even if you have, just above, average, intelligence you have, and the average, this one you have is sufficient for us. But being a guru is not easy thing. Easy in the sense what, sir? You should have worked on that. You should have transformed yourself completely. What is that? He becomes a satsang for us. Why? Because it is so relieving. That is why these spiritual places were called ashram. A beautiful word. Ashram means shrama. means painful, strenuous. But that strenuous thing looks what, sir? So pleasant, so peaceful. Why? Because of the presence of the master. Ashrama. In Sanskrit, A means its opposite. Ashram. It is not. Even though it is so strenuous, you will never experience it as strenuous. Why? The effort that you are putting in, it's a strain. The transformation that you are attempting to create is strainful, is painful. To change, to grow is effort. It demands a lot of effort from a student, and it is so tiring it is. But no student whatsoever will experience it as tiring. Everyone experiences that as inspiring and invigorating. From where that comes? That comes from that non-judgmental attitude of the master. That is why we say Guru's association is called the satsanga. Now this is the dimension of it. If it is so pleasant, if it is so nice, as you are saying, Ishwaran, then why people are not seeking for that? This is the quick question. If it is so good, if it is so pleasurable experience, everybody should be seeking that. But then why we are not seeking? He says there is a flip side to satsanga also. What is that? Is what we have to see. Now we go to the analysis of the word sat. What is sat, sir? Sat, sangha means association. This is what Buddha goes on saying. Sangam charanam gacchami, says. Buddham charanam gacchami. Sangam charanam gacchami. Dhammam charanam gacchami. These are the three teachings of his. Very, very important for him. What is it, sir? Sangam. Sangha is very, very important. Association. With what you associate, with whom you associate, defines everything in your life. Remember, if you are not in satsang, you are in dursang. The only two options you have in life. Either satsang or dursang. What becomes a satsang? What is satsang to me may be dursang to another person. See, if you are having that goal of starting a business, then you should not be spending time with the Swami. Can't go and sit with the sannyasi all the time. Sannyasi is a dursang to you. If you are doing business, sannyasi is a dursang. If you are a grihastha, then sannyasi is not a satsang for you. Remember, sannyasi. Why? Because it clashes with the goal of yours. If you want to do business, you should meet who? Businessmen. And what type of businessmen you have to meet? Those who are doing business at a higher level than you. Not those who are doing at a lower level than you. If you are doing a business of 50 crore, then your association should be with people who are doing 100 crores, 200 crores. You can't go and associate with a person who is doing 10 lakhs. That is also business, but that is not satsang. That is dursang. If you have to be a sports person, then you have to associate with people who are interested in sports. Musicians should be in the world of music. Now, if he is not, with the world of music, he is sitting with all the time discussing with all these politicians, let's say. What will happen over a period of time? Instead of music, he will start talking, politics. You will go for a music concert. Most of the time, there will be politics or this one. As for a few musicians, you go, they start giving lecture. They say, what, hey? That's what one fellow did, He started giving a lecture. From the audience, one fellow got up. He said, shut up. We came here to listen to you. Play. Don't talk. That's not what it is. See, it doesn't gel, you see. Satsang can be defined only after you have fixed what is the agenda of your life. What is the purpose in your life? What is the goal that you have in life? Decide that first. Without that decision, you cannot take it for granted and say all these people are satsang for me. It depends on what is your goal in life. If you have the goal of growth, development, evolution, realization, then this. If it is not, then associating with the spiritual person is more of an entertainment. You entertain him and he entertains you. That's about it. You just go, have darshan and come back. A lot of people do. Darshan and come back. I've never understood this concept of darshan. I said, darshan, go to temple. With the Lord, you will have darshan. With the Guru, what is the point in having a darshan? My grandmother used to take us to the Kanchi Mat, She will take. We'll just go and see him and come back. I used to ask her, why we have to go all the way from Chennai, from Mylapore, we have to take a bus, go to this place, and then take another bus, go to Kanchipuram, and then walk, go from that railway, that bus stand to that mutt, we have to walk. I'll go only because after, that Kanchi mutt, she will take us to that, Ganesh Bhavan or something used to be there. One, very good hotel. I think it is Ganesh Bhavan, that corner, that hotel. For that I will go. That's all. I have never understood. Now what he will be doing puja? Now, of course, I never got an opportunity to have an interaction with him, but I was too small, very small I was. But I used to wonder, what is the point in going and seeing him? Or else people go and sit with him and ask what? My daughter is not getting married. My business is not going well. I have this ailment. I have that problem. Out of compassion, they may bless you, or they may do something, or they may just listen to you. They may do anything, or they may not do anything. I don't care about what they do. All that. But the point is, do you go to a guru for that purpose? Matrimony, you should go. A daughter is not getting married. Go to a matrimonial person. Take your horoscope. Take that daughter's horoscope and go and give it to one fellow and ask him, why, what is wrong? What parihara to be done? This is to be done. That is good. Do all those things. No point in going to this person, because not that they will not do. Remember, they have the power to do. But point is this what you are supposed to do with them? That's the point. When they become a satsang to you, sir, depends on what is your goal. Number one. Right. So first point is, if you are not in satsang, you are in dursang. So how do I know satsang, sir? Before you can ask what is satsang, you have to ask yourself, what is my goal? Depends on the goal only satsang is. Now, in the context of bhajagovindam, satsang is what, sir? Assumption here is what? You are interested in developing that vairagya. You are interested in your development. You are interested in your realization, evolution. Then this analysis. If it is not, then the following analysis will not be applicable to you. Okay. Now comes the quick question. What is Sat? Sat is understood from two aspects. One, Sat is that which is virtuous. Another one is peace, goodness, happiness. Sat means two things, goodness and happiness. These two dimensions together is called Sat. Sometimes we will highlight the goodness part of it. Happiness, the peace part of it comes in the backdrop. Sometimes the peace part of it will get highlighted. Virtue and the goodness comes in the backdrop. Now, Satsanga means what? Association with people who have this virtuous, who are virtuous plus peaceful, happy, joyous, whatever words. So good and happy people. Now, let us see what is the problem in this. This is where the problem starts. See, as I gave this example, when you want to associate with a person who is having 100 crores business, when you are doing 50 crore business, the resistance for that relationship will come from that 100 crore fellow. He will not want to associate with you. He would want to associate with whom? Who is doing 200 crores. Why would 100 crore business fellow associate with the 50 crore? You want to grow your big business and you are at 50 crore, you will want to associate with a person who is doing 100. Now, will that 100 want to associate with you? They will not. So, there is a sort of a resistance that comes. The discomfort is there from that person point of view. But when he sees someone who is having 200 crores, he will go all out. Isn't it? That is why when Bill Gates comes to India and he invites, everybody goes to the party. Why? Why do you go to his party? Why do you go for these parties and all those things? Which parties you go? Or which are the parties you don't even think second time, should I go or not? Which parties you consider as a privilege that I got an invitation to attend that party? Wow. Fantastic, man. Why? Because you want to associate with someone who is higher. But will the higher man be interested in relating with you? Impossible. Remember this. What is the proof, sir? Do you associate with a person who is doing 50 lakhs with this business? No. See, you happen to meet him in the airport, you talk to him. That is a different thing. Because he is also going to Bombay in the same flight, or he is going to Bombay in Indigo flight, you are going by Go Air. That is a difference. 10 minutes difference between this flight and that flight. In the airport, you do meet. See, that is not what we are talking as association. Association is you get an opportunity, you contact. Or you create excuses, you create opportunities to contact. That is called association. That's called you are seeking meeting, association. Association is what? You create excuses. Like, I used to create such things to meet, a couple of them whom I used to go and meet. I used to bunk school and go. Post lunch, I will not be in school most of the time. Till lunch, I'll be there in school. After lunchtime, mostly, I will pack off. He would ask me, Nada, what happened? No school? 2 teachers didn't come today. So, they said PT period. I don't want to spend the PT period, so I thought I will come and meet you. And then Saturday, Sundays, what I do? I was passing by this side, so I thought I will drop in and see you. Most of the time, we will not, my seeing him will be only for 2 minutes. That's all, not more than that. Where I will be staying, I shifted to Cropet by then. This fellow is in the city. I have to catch 2 buses and come and go back taking 2 buses. The travel time will be for about 3 hours for me. Meeting will be for 3 to 5 minutes. After a long time, he told me, I know you are doing that. I thought he didn't know. I thought I'm very smart. He said, after some time, he said, I know you are doing that. I said, after that, I stopped. This is called association. I'm not saying that is satsang. I'm only explaining association. That's all. When you say I'm associating, means under any excuse you would like to be with him, or you will do anything to be in touch with that person. Isn't it? Suppose if I were to tell you, a central minister is attending my class, let's say. I won't tell. Suppose if I say, what happens? You would like to be in touch with me. Why? Because you want to be in association with the central minister. Then you would ask, which class he comes? Yeah, he comes for that, Thursday class. Thursday, there's no class. Thursday class, he comes. Oh, I see. Okay. And then suddenly you will appear in the class one day. Why? Not because you are interested in the class. What is that, sir? The minister. You see, that is what I meant by association. You seek that. With whom you will seek in the material world. In that material plane, in the worldly aspect, the resistance comes from the higher. I want to be with him, but he doesn't want to be with me. He is not interested. And that doesn't mean he is disinterested. He dislikes. It's not that he dislikes me, but he is not looking forward for me. This is the material plane. In the spiritual plane, it works exactly opposite. The resistance for satsanga doesn't come from him. It comes from us actually. The sat will never resist the relationship. The asat is the one who resists the relationship. This is where it is so fascinating to see. Otherwise, if you read the verse, it is so simple. All that you have to do is what? Satsanga, problem solved. And we think satsanga is what? Bhajan. Singing bhajans, is what is referred as satsang these days. Where are you going for satsang? What are you going to do? Bhajan. I'm not saying bhajan is not a satsang, please. Okay. Don't immediately take the opposite, please. See, satsang has many aspects to it. Now we have to see why. How is it that there is a resistance that comes? Think carefully. Okay. Sat means 2 things, we said. Goodness, virtue, and happy. Now you see, there is a lot of resistance we have in relating to people who are virtuous. Because it is very difficult to prove the virtuousness of a person, whereas it is very easy to prove the wrong in the person. Virtue is not easy to be proved. 2000 years have passed. We have not been able to prove Virgin Mary gave birth to Christ. Whereas they proved so easily that Christ is sacrilegious. Prosecuted him, penalized him also. All that was done in a matter of one day. In one day, the hearing was done, the judgment was pronounced. In 3 days, the next day itself, punishment also been given. All that they could do so fast. But whereas the goodness of Christ we are not able to prove even today. We are still struggling. Socrates, still we are not able to understand. Whereas we were able to understand the wrong in them. That's why nowadays, if you see, this is where that the cunningness of your mind comes into picture. The cunningness of the mind is it will want a proof for virtue, whereas for vice there is no necessity of a proof. Anything can become a proof for it. Example, Othello. The chastity of Desdemona proving could be done only after she'd been killed. She has to give her life for her to prove how chaste she is. Whereas the unchastity of her is proved by what, sir? As trivial as the proof is what? A handkerchief. A handkerchief becomes a proof for, that's what they say. As trivial as this becomes a holy writ, he says. All these things, becomes a proof. We subscribe to this very fast. Particularly, you get a pleasure, you get a kick out of finding fault with the virtue, with the virtuous people. How it works is like this. With the virtuous people, you start finding fault. Now I say Rama is a virtuous person. What virtuous person he is? Killed Vali hiding behind. What valor? Is this valor? Banishing Sita. Is this virtue? What nonsense is useless. Okay, tick off. Rama gone. Krishna, don't even talk about. Out. Buddha. What is Buddha, sir? Buddha is what? That fellow is an escapist. Why? He left his wife high and dry. A newborn baby. He didn't even look into the face of the newborn baby. He left without telling anyone. Escapist. Out. I say, okay, what about Gandhiji, Mahatma? No? I say, what father of nation? This man could not be a good father to one son. How can that fellow be father to the nation? Out. So one by one, I keep telling, isn't this person great? Isn't this person virtuous? Isn't this person virtuous? Isn't this person virtuous? Every virtuous person you meet, you always search for what? Not the virtue in them. You search for proving their wiseness. So you say what? Every virtuous person has the other side also, sir. Isn't it? Everybody has there is a dark circle around. That could be a candle, but there is a dark circle around that candle, no, underneath. Is there. Everybody has it. Therefore, what? Therefore, okay, so what are you trying to prove by this? Now that I have proved what? All those virtuous people were also wise. And the contrary also we go on saying nowadays. What is it, sir? You see, Ravana is not all bad. There are some extraordinary qualities in Ravana also. See, Karna is not bad. He is also so great. And Duryodhana also is not bad. He is also, superb fellow he is. And there are proofs. It's not that, there is no proof. It's there in the text itself. You read Ramayana, it says. You see this, he says. Mahabharata, you read, it says. And you go on highlighting, there is wiseness in a virtuous person, and go on highlighting, there is virtue in the wise person also. Therefore, what are you trying to prove? What is the effect of that? The consequence of this reasoning is, it is not possible for a person to be all virtuous. So, it is not that a wise person is all bad. Okay, so therefore, how much ever effort I am going to put in to turn virtuous, there will be vice in me. However wise I am, I can be having virtue in me also. Therefore, I can continue to live the way I am. There is no necessity for me to put in any effort to build that virtuousness in me. So the moment you see a virtuous man from this background, he gives you a challenge. He tests you. His presence is testing. He is not doing a test to you, please. His virtuousness tests you. That's why in the presence of a disciplined person, the indisciplined feel uncomfortable. So what happens? Stay away from a disciplined man. That's all. Simple. Or if I cannot stay away from a disciplined man, I start highlighting that indisciplined dimension of him also. Thereby what? No big difference between you and me. So even if I meet a virtuous person, I keep on underplaying virtue in him, highlighting the vice in him, and in me what I am doing, magnify my virtuousness and minimize my vice. So what is the difference between you and me? Not a big difference. Yeah, of course, there is a difference between you and me. What's the difference? It is all because of what? You are lucky. That's all. This is what all of us say. If I were to be having the same background, if I were to be having that similar opportunity, lot of them say, you got an excellent opportunity, Ishwaran, much early to study Vedanta. We are starting so late. So what? So what are you trying to prove by this? So ultimately you are going to say what? See, don't ask me to put in that effort. Virtue. When you meet a virtuous man, this is the problem. This is from the virtue dimension. Now we look at the goodness part of it is this. Now if you were to see from the happy part of it, happiness aspect of it, whenever you meet a person who is more happy than you, you start experiencing a subtle jealousy. A subtle sense of inferiority complex comes in. when you meet a happy person. Whereas when you meet a man who is more morose, miserable, relatively you are much better. Now you want to feel better. Tell me, who will you associate with? Hmm? When you meet a happy person, you feel small. When you meet a sad fellow who is miserable than you, who is suffering more than you feel comfortable. And your mind wants to feel comfortable. Your ego always wants to feel that I am. So where you are getting an opportunity to feel that more? With happy or with sorrowful? That is why today we see a lot of people going for this service, social service. All the social service you are doing it, you are serving whom? Think carefully. Who do you serve? It's a fascinating topic by itself to analyze. I'll just give you a highlight. Think on this. Very, very interesting idea. See, in life, you transact only 4 people. There are only 4 people with whom you transact, you deal. All your relationships were only with this 4. There is nothing beyond this 4. 1, those who are above you, meaning those who have served you. 2, those who are equal to you. 3, those who are below you. 4, strangers. I'll give an example, then you can understand. There are 4 people. 1, those who are above you, means those who have served, who serve you, they are above you. Right? Whose services you take, they are above you. Then there are people who are at your level. Then there are people who are below you. 3, 4, strangers. Right? Who's a stranger? Stranger means you are standing in the signal, a fellow knocks at your car window and asks, no, who is he? Stranger. You have no connection to him. Right? There's no relationship at all. In the train when you are traveling, or in the flight when you are flying, there are people who are sitting not next to you, next to that fellow. There are 3 seats, no? Right? If at all you have a conversation, you have conversation only with whom? The person sitting next to you. What about the person sitting next? You are in the window seat, it's a middle and then aisles there. Now, with whom you build a conversation? Who are they, sir? They are called as strangers. Right? Now I say, you serve to who you think you are serving. Huh? Those who served you, in my opinion, only 2 have served you. 1, Guru. 2, parents. Beyond the 2, there is no one in the world who have served you. Because when you are such an invalid, useless and dumb and stupidest of ever creature to be born in the world is a human baby. Dumbest in the world at the time of birth. Why? Animals, you see, they reach to the mother to drink milk. You see the cow, the calf, it's born, gets up and reaches to the mother for milk. Human baby, even if the mother takes it closer to the breast, the child doesn't know what to do. He does. It's so interesting to see how dumb you are. Huh? So dumb, so dumb. They served you. See, those who serve you, whose services you have taken. And then there are people who are equal. Who's that said? Husband and wife. Give and take policy. One day you get a headache, I massage your head. One day I get a backache, you massage my back. That's all. Give and take policy. Right. Then comes those who are lower than you. Who's lower than you? The servant in your house. They are helping you, but they are lower than you. That's all. The relationship is what? The electrician who comes and fixes the electric bulb in your house. What is he? He is lower than you. The relationship exists only to that transaction. That's it. Beyond the transaction, there is no relationship. Whatever you are going to be doing. Now my question is, whenever you think of service, to who you are thinking? In the line of obligation, where you should be doing your primary obligation, Nitya Karma. Nitya Karma is for the one. Special and occasional is the 2 and 3. 4 is matter of choice. You want to do, you do. You don't want to do, don't do. Doesn't make any difference. But all of us serve whom? We get a satisfaction. You get a pleasure. You get a kick out of serving a stranger rather than serving the parents. How many of us serve them? See, there is a difference. Serving them, immediately we think what? I'm not giving you any trouble, no. That's not service. That's why you need to understand what is service. What is it? That's where you associate. Your association means what? You can associate with people who are miserable. See, you are so comfortable in dealing with people who are miserable. Whereas you will feel defeated when you meet a Buddha in your life. That is why we never go very close to the master. We stand far off from the master and appreciate and walk out. That's all, not more than that. You can't go closer to them and transact, live and serve. Very, very difficult that is. Why? It is so demanding. It is so irritating for us. It is so disturbing. Why? Because he looks so happy, so fulfilled. In front of that, I look so insignificant. I always want to be felt what, sir? Significant. That ego, that dimension of arrogance, that dimension of the demand to feel superior will never allow you to associate with people who are more happier than you. All these things may look too much. I'll give you a simple thing. Next time, whenever, after this opening up happens, if you get any invitation for wedding or, party and all that, you go. One fellow will come and ask you, how are you? Yeah, fine. See what happens. He'll also say what? Very good. And he'll go. Next fellow will come and say, how are you? I don't want to miss this party because this is going to be my last party. Tonight is going to be my last night. Not philosophically. I'm planning to suicide tonight. Finished. No point in living anymore. It is better to die. I'm glad that I met you. I'm so happy. You say and try to move away and see what that fellow does. He will immediately pull a chair and sit next to you. Yeah, what happened? Why are you feeling like this? Don't do like that. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. All that lecture will give. If you tell that fellow you are happy, he will move away. You tell a man you are miserable, he will stay with you. This is how we associate with people. In this, Shankara says how you have to grow in life, sir. Satsang. You think it is easy? That's what he's asking. He says, how can you do this, man? Satsang is not easy. Satsang demands a lot out of you. If you can maintain that relationship with someone who is more virtuous, and the best part is the one who is happy, the one who is virtuous will never resist. He will be all open. He would like to embrace you. But we are the one who will say what? No. Therefore, Shankara says, drop this weakness of yours. Don't resist the satsang. That itself is a spiritual effort. That is sufficient for you to develop this nirsanga. That will happen automatic. You don't have to worry about it. What is this nirsanga? Non-attachment. Is what is referred as vairagya. That disinclination towards the lower is called vairagya. Vairagya means that. Vairagya is that distaste. You have a distaste towards what the world can offer. You detest what the world can offer to you. And you have a distaste and a detest. You feel a sort of Vijigupsa, as it were, he says. That resentment. You feel that for what the world can offer. Why you are able to do it, sir? Because you have something better to taste. Since you have tasted the chocolate, you detest toffees. Those who have never tasted a chocolate can never detest toffees. Those who have tasted the dark chocolate detest chocolate. You know that. Taste. You see, the toffee has a taste. You can't say toffee is not having a taste. But you start having chocolates, it's difficult to enjoy toffees. That's what my daughter will have a problem with my father. He'll bring a toffee. When he is going out, she will say, "Get me chocolate." He'll say, "Okay." He will go and he'll bring toffees. Eclairs he'll bring. My daughter says, "Tata, I asked you to bring chocolate. What have you brought?" He'll say, "What? This is chocolate." He says, no, this is not chocolate. Yeah. Fight now. So interesting to see. And he would say, you have to teach me what is chocolate. No. Yeah. I'll say, yes, because you don't know the difference between toffee and chocolate. Then comes the dark chocolate. You see that? Why? After that, you can't enjoy. Even if somebody gives you free, also what? You'll put it in your mouth, but you don't cherish it. You will eat. Not that you will not eat. When a child comes and gives my birthday, uncle, it comes and gives. It's not that I'm going to say no. No, I will not eat this. I will eat only, dark chocolate. I will not eat and all. You don't give a lecture. Then comes this is called vairagya. So vairagya, the detachment comes out of growth. Growth means what's a taste, experience of the higher. Since you are tasting something nobler, something finer, something so superior, subtler, you cannot enjoy the grosser after that. It is not possible. Either you can enjoy the gross or you can enjoy the subtle. You start enjoying classical music, you cannot enjoy this rap music. It's not that you will have a hatred towards it. You can't cherish it. That's all. You can't cherish. It's not that you will hate. It's not hatred. You can't enjoy. It is not possible. You tune into that. Then in that also there are scales. There are scales. Now as you keep going subtler and subtler and subtler, music, not singing, not so much of that mridangam and all that. Nowadays you go to these concerts, they are paying more attention to the mridangam than the the singer or the violinist. Classical music concert you go, that inner circle they say, sir, they say doesn't matter who you bring as a violinist, but the mridangam player should be very important. Why? Because it is that mridangam that lifts up that tempo of the kacheri. The performance tempo comes into picture only when mridangam comes. That mridangam were to be played, same song, same thing they may do, but when the mridangam player plays differently, your experience of that song will be different. But the musician is singing the same way. But you will hear, you will feel very differently. Fascinating to see that, this. Now that doesn't mean mridangam is useless. You see, immediately don't take that extreme. That is useless, man. No. You go to the subtler aspects of music. Share that sound. That's it. Nothing else. Then comes that raga bhavana. That bhavana is more important, not calculations. Not the appropriate calculations and the mathematics. Not even mathematics. Arithmetics is what you have to say in music. It's only, arithmetical calculations are there. That's what we call as mathematics. That doesn't mean there is integration, differentiation. Arithmetics is there. In a more refined way, we say mathematics. That's all. You go to those aspects. Subtler you taste, grosser you drop. Since in this association, the joy that you would experience is so fulfilling, your life gets such completeness, such fulfillment, because of what? Now you add all these factors. All the factors you add together and see, in one relationship you are experiencing all these things. There is no craving at all for it. After that, nothing affects you. That is called nirsanga. Then continue that association. Now your effort is not for anything. Remember, right through your effort is only to maintain satsang. That's all. You are continuing. continue the association, continue the association, continue the association. More and more and more association happens, all the steps will happen automatic. It is not that from non-attachment, what I have to do now, sir, to go to next stage. No, your effort remains the same. What? Maintenance of satsang.
The satsang you get in will carry you from the shore of samsara to the shore of Jivan Mukti. See you in the next class.